Yeah, it's recording. I'm going to mute you so that the background noise doesn't get in there. So feel free to cough as much as you need to. Okay, so today I want to talk about your success story and how your success story is something that you need to work on at all times because it's always changing. So one of the things that you may notice in our group is we've got people who have completed P90X, Power 90, Insanity. They're in really good shape. They're looking, they're excited for P90X2 to come out. They've finished, the majority of their journey as far as, the obvious physical signs. The journey doesn't really ever end because we're constantly trying to push ourselves and become better. But, they pretty much handled it. And then we've got people who are brand new who literally became coaches this week, and they have, 3 days of Shakeology experience under their belt, and that's it. And a lot of times I get sort of people saying, well, you are good at this because you have this great story. I'm like, no. The story catches people's eye. Like the picture, that's the part that everyone thinks, oh, it's because your before and after picture is so dramatic. Yeah, it catches people's eye. People go, huh, what did you do, But from there, I have to take it somewhere. I have to explain. I've got to give the story. I can't just be like, yep, you saw the picture. I got skinnier. You should do what I say. I need to connect with them. And the only way to connect with people is to have your story really thought out and that you say it enough that it is, it just flows. You don't miss any important parts, get your point across, etc. So we're doing this worksheet, which I'm going to recreate this worksheet. Beachbody was not able to get me this worksheet. So I'm just going to make one because I'm not an idiot. I can make a worksheet like this instead of keep waiting for them to look for it for me. So I will make one and post it in the group. What I want you to do is I want you to think about your fitness story. Now, this is the fitness version. There is a business story, which I'll also recreate and post. This is a fitness one. And you have to take one part from each one. So if you are Corey, who just recently joined us, has lost a good amount of weight with Power 90 and then P90X, and he is looking forward to P90X2. He might want to use the weight version, the weight story. Before I used any Beachbody products, I weighed, add 30 pounds or whatever he weighs now. And then I started working out with P90X and drinking Shakeology. He does drink Shakeology as well. And now, I'm a smaller size, I've lost this much weight, and my energy is high. Something like that. For maybe Lauren, who's just joined us, she's our newest coach, she might say, before I used Beachbody products, I wasn't really sure where to start. I felt overwhelmed by the journey I needed to start. My energy was low. Then I started with the challenge, and I was drinking Shakeology, and I drank it for a week, and now I feel like I can do it, like my goals are within reach, that my energy is higher, something like that. So my point of using the two extremes in the group are to show that you should have a story even if you don't think you have a story yet, because no matter where you are in your journey, somebody else is there. And they're one step behind you, and they need your help. Because you guys all know, I have lost 70 pounds, but I'm still a size 12. On a good day, I'm a 10, and that's pretty exciting on those days. I have, I'm still, by all means, like by all the measurements in the world, obese, as far as fat percentage, body fat percentage or whatever. So I'm not done. And although I have lost a lot of weight, there is so much further for me to keep going, but I still have my story. And even though people will come to me who are thinner than me, who are possibly in better shape, they still look at me for advice, and they still come to me because I'm putting myself out there and I'm sharing the story so far. And a lot of times, people have the same issue. Maybe they have lost some weight, and now they need to get the rest of it off. Or maybe they're at the beginning where I was at 250 pounds. Like, there's a place for your story with everyone. If you know it well, you'll be able to really express it genuinely and share it. So things I want you to think about, and I want you to write them down. So when I make this worksheet, I'm going to make you write it on paper. And you know I hate paper, so it must be a big deal if I'm making you guys write stuff down. I want you to think about genuinely how you felt before you pushed play for the first time, before you mixed your first Shakeology, before you ever, opened your Turbo Fire box or your Peanut EX box or whatever it is for you guys. I want you to think about how you felt. How you felt when you ordered it. How you felt when you borrowed it from a friend. How you felt when you left it in the box the first week or 3 or months. How you felt the first time you fell off and got back on. Think about all of that. Where was your weight? What was your size? How did you feel? Were you tired? Were you cranky? Were you depressed? Did you think it wasn't possible? There was no point to start? Those kind of workouts are for skinny people or fit people, or I could never do that. You guys, we all had these feelings. We all did. And so how can you relate that to your story? So think about that. Write out sort of what you were feeling. Then I want you to write on a separate piece of paper for this. Write out sort of the different programs that you've done, where you started. I know a lot of people, like, for instance, Liza did Turbo Fire, and Turbo Fire is like her love, but when she saw Carrie doing Insanity, she actually got Insanity and really liked it. So it's one of those things where there may have been at different times, different turning points. And then now, no matter where you are, what is the difference? Do you at least believe it's possible? Do you at least have the confidence to know that you can make it through that workout? Or did you do it? Did you complete it, slap 90 days in the face, and do it again? Did you lose 50 pounds? Like, where are you? You can see how long ago I did this. That was clearly one of my first exercises as a coach. And it's one of those situations where you need to decide what your story is, and then we need to revisit this repeatedly. Every time you make a milestone, every time you hit a 30-day mark on your program, every time you do a weigh-in and measurements, every time you switch to a new program or you hit a goal, you've got to adjust your story, and you've got to practice it, and you've got to say it to each other. So when I make this document for you guys, I'm going to make the document. I'm going to have you watch this video. I'm going to keep the video very short. I'm about to wrap it up in like literally a minute. So I'm going to have you watch the video. I'm going to keep it short so that you will actually watch it. And then your assignment is, for all of you, even though a lot of you already have homework, you have to practice this story. You can call me. You can leave it on my voicemail. You can call your accountability partner. You can turn around to your significant other. The only person you can't practice it on is, you can practice it on your kids, but I need you to practice it on an adult who's going to, pay attention and make you feel slightly uncomfortable when you're doing it. I want you to stammer through it. I want you to do it 15 times minimum until it rolls off your tongue and you believe it. It's true, but you've got to convince yourself that you believe it and that it's real. So I will put this together. Everyone needs to do this week, and we will talk about it next week. Hopefully people are on the call next week, because I want you guys to share it with each other. A lot of times we throw in a little flair that we wouldn't otherwise share with each other. So I know a lot of times I did this in a group. I did this with Ro and Sheila and my coach we were at I's house, and we just threw this out there. And going back and forth just over and over, us practicing it to the group over and over, we picked up things from each other that were actually really helpful, and we threw them in there, and it made it better and better. So you guys all heard me tell my story before. It comes off pretty solid. So I want you guys all to have the same. I'm going to unmute you, Rachel, in case you have any questions. Oh, that's not true. Do you have any questions about this, hon?
No, it sounds great. I look forward to filling it out.
Perfect. Okay. Well, then instead of keeping you on the call sick and me sitting here talking about nothing, I will just use the next amount of time that we would have been on the team call to do the document instead, and that'll be training for this week. All right?
Okay. Sounds great.
Get better.
Thanks, Amber. Will do.
Have a good one.
Talk to you soon.